I'm going to show you guys how to make this heavy Reese bass in Vital. What's up, you guys? My name's Noah. I make music as Haterade, and you guys are watching Sounds Good. So let's start with an initialized patch here. By itself, it just sounds like this. So I'm going to bring that release down a little bit, and I'm going to bring the first oscillator down 2 octaves, and I'm going to do that with oscillator 2 as well. So now it sounds like this. Make sure you guys stick around to the end too, because there's a lot of little details that we're going to do at the very end that really make this sound. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the third oscillator down 3 octaves, and I'm going to turn it into a sine wave, and I'm going to select direct out. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to bring the phase down to 0 on all 3 of these. This just makes the waveform play at the same spot every single time, and it gives you a little more consistency in your bass sound. Then what we're going to do is really important. Adjust the fine tune. Because if you listen to it right now, it's not really a good Reese bass. But if we change the fine tune, and the higher we bump that fine tune and make that pitch separate even more, the more movement we get out of this sound. So then what I'm going to do here too is I'm going to bring the voices down to 1, and then I'm going to bring the glide up just a little bit, so we get a little bit of pitch drift in between those notes. Real quick, guys, I wanted to tell you guys too, I have a free finishing music checklist in the description of this video. It's totally free. If you guys are having trouble finishing music, go grab that checklist. It has a ton of my best tips for finishing music, and I'm really confident it will help you guys. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a chorus, and I'm going to bring the cutoff up like this, so we're not getting any of the bass. And I'll bring the feedback to 0 here. Bring the voices down a little bit too. Then I'm just going to add some multi-band compression and bring the release down a little bit. Bring the mix down on that chorus too. And then I'm going to add some soft clip distortion. So it's already sounding really good. You can add extra texture in the noise oscillator here if you wanted to, because if you run this noise through that distortion combined with those 2 saw waves, it gives it a little bit extra grit. But you could do that to taste. It depends on what type of Reese bass you're doing. I'm going to leave it in there for now though. So then let's get into this effect rack. So I've got the first EQ right here of cutting out the super ultra lows that you can't even hear anyways, and then I'm trimming off the highs a little bit. And the reason why I'm doing that is so it doesn't get too noisy and too gritty. I want it to be nasty, but I don't want it to be so bright and noisy that it just sounds like psh when I'm playing it. So, and this also makes a little bit more room for your hi-hats in your mix as well. So just rolling off just a little bit. And then I have a notch right here. That kind of just gives a little bit extra character. Now here's one of the secret weapons here is kick tight. It's the corpus preset in Ableton. You just search Command F or Control F and type in kick tight and add this on your Reese bass. So I've done a couple of modifications to this. The first modification is that I'm routing the MIDI from this channel into corpus, so it follows each note that I'm playing. So I bring this down, click MIDI from Vital 30, that's the channel I'm working on here, then click frequency and then hit last. After that, I go to my transpose down here and I bring it down to 36 semitones, which is 3 octaves. Now listen to this bass. This is before. This gives it a little bit more low end and power. So then we got another EQ here, and this is just another notch. And then for the final touch, that's just saturation on the back end. A good alternative for saturator is Decapitator by Soundtoys. So if you don't have saturator, try using Decapitator from Soundtoys. And now when we add just a little bit of drive here, okay, for the final touch here, we're going to add some automation for the voice transpose. You could find this in the advanced tab. You just click this right here, and then in your automation lane, Vital Voice Transposition. And I just have this going up at the beginning and then down at the end. So it goes in. And that's this Reese bass. Really easy to do, guys. And I mean, It's a super popular sound right now. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to hit like on the video and subscribe to the channel. Putting out new videos every single Friday. We got the new sample pack coming out, so keep an eye out for that. And again, if you guys need help finishing your music, grab the finishing music checklist in the description of this video.